So, welcome back to the last episode about the Little Book of Talent, and we're gonna go ahead with the last 40, not 40, but 10 tips. I know we stopped at 40 yesterday, so we're gonna go ahead with 41, I assume. I'm actually not quite sure because it could also be the case that I've stopped at 39. I'm not quite sure there, but I've seen that it is not 52, which it should normally be the case, I guess, but it is rather 50. Maybe the last two weren't that important or something. Maybe there is some mistake there. Could also be the case, like, I don't know. But we're gonna see after the intro, as always. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And I'm actually indeed pretty happy about the podcast and recording it, because at this point in time, like, days are pretty similar. And this is not good. Because, I mean, it is something different if a Monday is quote unquote always the same, because that is bearable, that is just fine, you know, as it is in school. But since I'm not gonna be in school anymore this year, or quite never ever in my life, which I think I'm gonna talk about that later on, I guess, but we're gonna go ahead with the book, because I shouldn't talk too much about some other shit that doesn't matter quite. So let's have a look at it. Tip 39, practice immediately after performance. Yes. Let's go ahead with tip 40. Just before sleep, watch a mental movie, play a movie of your idealized performance in your head. And I actually have forgotten about that, but I should do that. I really should. Maybe I'm gonna write that down. As so many things, you know, I should just, I don't know, like maybe I should building a structure for myself. What it is about learning the stuff that I have to learn this part of time, or what it is about whatever. Maybe, I don't know. I should have a look at this, I guess. Quite. But yeah. Tip 41, end on a positive note. A practice session should end like a good meal with a small, sweet reward. And I think this is kind of true. I know it just at least makes sense, because I don't know, like if you just immediately associate this particular thing, this training or whatever it might be, with something negative, then it's not good. Because if you end it with something negative, then it's the last memory that you're having of this particular thing, which is not something good. I mean, like, if something is negative and you just didn't like it and whatnot, then I don't know. I think it's just not making you do it again. At least not as much as you just having a quote unquote happy memory of it from the last time and whatnot, but still, yeah, I think it makes sense, and I think it is a good one. I really believe so. Tip 42, and this is a longer one. It shouldn't actually be too fast. Maybe it should just be slower in general. Could be. Tip 42, 6 ways to be a better teacher or coach. Use the first few seconds to connect on an emotional level, which is incredibly important, I think, by being funny, for example. Effective teaching is built on trust. Before you can teach, you have to show that you care. Yes, I would say so as well. Avoid giving long speeches. Instead, deliver vivid chunks of information, short, targeted, customized messages to each student, one at a time. Which I think, I don't know if it is going to work out. I don't know if it works out if you just do it just one by one, you know? For every single student, there is one message or one thing, because it is very close to, teaching somebody individually or teaching people individually, which, of course, I guess is kind of the best thing you can be doing. But as the system is, it's not that possible. Quite. I know, I guess at least. You know, maybe they're going to figure out a way to do so. But at this point in time, it's like, I mean, at this point in time, there's nothing going on, of course. But still, like, I don't know, it's difficult. It really is. Let's see. Be allergic to mushy language. All good teaching follows the same blueprint. Try this concrete thing. Okay, I see. Communicate with precise, No. Now try this concrete thing. Now try combining them into the concrete thing. Communicate with precise nouns and numbers, things you can see and touch and measure, and avoid adjectives and adverbs which don't tell you precisely what to do. The fourth one is make a scorecard for learning. Pick up metrics that measures the skill you want to develop and start keeping track of it. Zappos ignored the usual scorecard and began tracking the occasions when their customer service representatives went above and beyond the call of duty, delivering. Wow. I see. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to just have a look at your progress. There's actually so much that I want to talk about afterwards, and I'm also going to do that. Well, yeah. Anyway, the fifth one is maximize reachfulness. What kind of space will create the most reachful environment, and how can you replace moments of passivity with moments of active learning? And the last one is, yeah, this is completely the truth. The sixth and last one is aim to create independent learners, which I think is one of the most important things. And I didn't have that in my childhood because I've always done things with my parents because they cared about it. And I ultimately think that it has been one of the worst things that I have gotten parenting-wise, or I've received parenting-wise, I guess. And yeah, I might also be wrong about that. Actually, a little tiny bit unsure, but yeah. Tip 43, embrace repetition. Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Because this guy or this gal is probably pretty good at it. Tip 44. Have a blue-collar mindset. Get up in the morning and go to work every day, whether you feel like it or not. I, by the way, do this. You know, I get up relatively early, even though I've also seen that I like the evening hours for a specific kind of work. And I think it just also really depends on when you're doing things. You know, some parts of the day are meant for some things. For example, I'm really happy that I am recording right now because afterwards I know that that I'm gonna feel a little bit better about learning again and just doing something again. And I don't know, like, I think it is a strange thing. It is a strange thing. It's probably also having something to do with sleep, of course. I mean, if you're not getting a lot of sleep, then even though like 7 hours, I get 7 hours, it's enough. Should be. But yeah. Tip 45. For every hour of competition, spend 5 hours practicing. If I think about that, if I think about that, for every hour of competition, spend 5 hours of practicing, which means that in my A levels, I'm gonna have every single subject for 5 hours long straight, which by the way per se it's enough. It really is enough, and especially when it is about maths, like. I think it is 8 exercises or 8 tasks with, of course it's not like one task and that's it, but I think there's multiple just points in a task, basically. But you're having 5 hours for 8 things. So it's quite a long period of time, which I am kind of happy about, to be honest. But of course, like, it is strange, especially if you haven't had it before. The only exams that I had were, I think the longest was 3 hours. If I remember correctly, but I'm really unsure about that. I think only once. And this is, I don't know, it is just, again, like even more, like not even a bit, but quite something more, like 5 hours. 5 hours is quite something. And I don't know, but I've passed anyway, which sets my mind a little bit on ease, I guess, even though, like, I don't know, because it is 50-50 with the grade that I've gotten for the year, and then the exam grade, and this is then gonna be my final grade. This has positive sides, it's also having negative sides. I mean, if you're having an A in your year's grades, if I can call it like this, probably not, but yeah, then you have to have an A in the exam as well, so that you're gonna get an A. Of course, it kind of also makes sense because, like, yeah. On the other hand, for people like me, like, I'm having A, B, C. I think it's a C in 2 subjects or something. Yes, I have. Which means that, which by the way, first of all, is a fucked up thing, and even though if I write an A in the exam, I'm never ever gonna be better than a B, because 3 plus 1 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. I'm not able to get better, which of course is the downside of it, but yeah, it is what it is. It just anyway is what it is. But if I think about it, just because I haven't completed my thought actually, 5 hours, every hour of competition is 5 hours of practicing, then I'm having 5 hours of competition, which means that I'm gonna have 5 times 5, 25 hours for every subject, which I don't know if I'm getting it. Probably in maths, yes, kind of, I would say. But yeah, Tip 46, don't waste time trying to break bad habits, instead build new ones. Ignore the bad habits and put your energy toward building a new habit that will override the old one, which apparently is indeed the case. We are not destructing them, we are not breaking them, we are exchanging them or overriding them. Tip 47, to learn it more deeply, teach it. This works because when you communicate a skill to someone, you come to understand it more deeply yourself, which I think is totally the case. Totally. And I've also seen that, and my teacher also implemented that just as I'm reading it, which is a funny thing, by the way. On the other hand, oh, by the way, it's one subject. No, it's two subjects. Never mind. On the other hand, I've also thought about teaching a little bit on the podcast, that I'm gonna learn or go through something. Of course, then it's gonna be in English, which is, again, a little bit of a learning curve there, but that should be fine. But I don't know, like if I should teach maths there, if I should just talk about some mathematical things that I have to solve if you want to. Yeah. Tip 48, give a new skill a minimum of 8 weeks. Don't make judgments too early. Keep at it, even if you don't feel immediate improvement. There's not going to be immediate improvement anyway. It's not going to happen. It's not going to turn out. It's not going to work. And tip 49, when you get stuck, make a shift. The best way past the plateau is to jostle yourself beyond it. To change your practice method so you disrupt your autopilot and rebuild a faster, better circuit. One way to do this is to speed things up, to force yourself to do the task faster than you normally would. Or you can slow things down, going so slowly that you highlight previously undetected mistakes. Or you can do the task in reverse order, turn it inside out or upside down, which may or may not work, but I think it is a pretty good idea, and I might also do that. Because I see like I'm plateauing in a way that I have to say like I'm just a little bit bored of it. But maybe it's also just about structure. Maybe I'm just have to have a game. Maybe like I don't know. Like I feel like I've done so many different exercises, especially when it is about maths. Like I don't know. Like yeah. You probably know what I mean if you've just had to learn maths, which you probably have or had. Tip 50, and it is the last one. Cultivate your grit. Grit as I think coined by Angela Duckworth, if I'm not wrong about that. But yeah, and there's an URL. Take the test. AuthenticHappiness.s. I do wonder if this is still working. I really wonder, because I assume it's not working. Use a login. Fuck you with your login. I don't want to log in. Navigation. The website is, never mind. It's not good. Questionnaires. And now I get tired once again. I don't know. Like something is wrong. Maybe I'm gonna have to get up a little bit earlier. Maybe I have to do that. Maybe I should get up again at, which by the way, and I'm gonna take my time to just talk about that right now. Which is also something that I have to think about, and now it is loading. Thank you very much, you motherfucking piece of shit. But I don't know, like I wake up at 6 and I get up at 6:30, which by my standards is relatively late, to be honest. Normally in school time, I had to get up at 5:20 or something, 5:30, 5:40, something like that. Like I could, of course, I could have done it later as well, but I don't know, like I like getting up relatively early. I feel good about it. Maybe just feel good about it because I can talk about it. Like, I don't fucking know. Nevertheless, I think that at this point in time it is a little bit difficult because I'm not going to be in school for this year, and I'm going to finish school without being in school quite. For the exam, I gotta have to go to school, but that's quite it. But I had to decide yesterday whether I want to be in school or not, or whether I just want to use distant learning. And I have decided to just use the distant learning because I am indeed a little bit feared that it is going to turn out not that good if I drive by train 1.5 hours each and every day, or maybe once a week to school just to be there, because I ultimately don't need it. This is facts. I ultimately just do not need it. But yeah, the thing is, I really miss the people, and the thing is that I would really, really like to be in school and really have this experience of school once again. The only problem there, of course, is that it's not normal. Like, I don't know, like having a distance of 2 meters between each and another, like, and it is actually a little bit sad because I've actually always liked school, mainly because of the people, I've met so amazing people in school. I still have friends from school, and at this point in time, of course, quite. But it really is a sad thing to see that I'm not gonna be in school any longer or anymore, only for the exam. But also the exam is gonna be just strange. It really is. First of all, I gotta have to drive up to school, get up there, you know, quite, and then I'm gonna take my 5-hour exam, and then I go home again. There's not gonna be a party. Like, I don't know, like it is strange, and there's a little bit of a sad thing because yeah, as I said, I really like school. Like, of course, there's benefits of it, there's downsides of it. The whole situation we are in is like strange and fucked up and shitty and whatnot. But yeah, I think it is very important to see the good there. And the good might be that I'm just able to learn quite a lot. I'm having a lot of time, but this is another problem that I'm seeing, that, you know, yesterday and today, and well, actually this week, today is Wednesday, I feel quite unproductive. I mean, I have been working out today, I have cut out everything is done and ready. Maybe it's just because I'm super duper fast that I'm getting bored, but I just don't want to learn maths all day long. I can't do that. You know, it's boring me after some bits, and I feel like, well, I do not want to do that. You know, it's not kind of based on, okay, I can do everything, I'm just too good. Not really, not necessarily, but yeah, like, it's strange times, and I hope you're fine. I hope your family's fine. I hope that everyone is fine. Like, I think it's just also that sense of connection, and I mean, I think being one day in school could really have kept my mind in peace. Quite. The problem is, if one of our students, one of my colleagues gets ill, we all have to take the exam in autumn. You know, there's either we can choose it like, or do it a month from now, basically. So I'm basically gonna have 3.5 more weeks at home, basically, with distance learning, with just, there's gonna be conferences, I guess, at least. But I'm just not gonna be in school. But it's, I mean, it's been a really tough decision, really tough decision. I mean, and then I also had to figure out how to make decisions and how to make them better, because it is indeed a difficult decision, and it was one. And I've also Googled if there's some decision-making software, and I've also found something, but it just gave me like, okay, you should go to school, and I was like, no. Which is, by the way, also a problem. Like, if you really want to see like things making it to you, and things just, I don't know. Like, it genuinely makes me a tiny bit sad. Of course, like, I don't know, like, there's so many good things. There's really a lot of good things, and I shouldn't complain, but especially because it wasn't my control. I could have decided to go to school, but I chose not to because of fear. Maybe this is just also kind of the wrong thing to do because of fear not doing it, you know? But on the other hand, like, it is risky. It indeed is risky. And maybe not just the best idea you can have. So yeah. But I think I'm gonna end the episode there. I've really enjoyed the book, and the next book is probably gonna be about something similar. And I don't know, I really like going through those books. Like, I just totally enjoyed that. But yeah, the question of the day is, can I? Yes, I'm gonna do it. The question of the day is, can we say something or do something or make something for somebody else that really can and is gonna make that day? Can you do something? Can you build this connection in these times of not being connected and all those things? Like yeah, can you do so? Can you make that? Can you do that? Yeah. Anyway, gonna see you the next time. I at least hope. And with the business, I wish you the best health of happiness and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then being also remembered as a nice person. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose, and maybe even a business idea, which is always a good thing. Quite. But yeah, I am hopefully going to see you the next time. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much from my side, and take care.